All right, so I see that people are already connecting. There is around 30 participants in this advanced webinar, so that's great. So let's then kick off this webinar together. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to our Capacity for Dev advanced webinar. Today, we will be speaking about how to optimize the structure of your space. And also this webinar is the place where you can ask any question that you ever wanted about navigation of your space, as well as the structure for the engagement and appealing visualization. So what we will be covering today, we will be telling you more about the best practices in the groups. Also, then we will dive deeper into the projects because there might be some people who are also the space managers of the projects. Then we will be covering some latest developments of our platform because there is a lot of things in stake and in pipeline that will facilitate the user experience of your spaces. And we have something new for you because if you were participating in the last advanced webinars, usually you were asking questions in the chat. However, for this webinar, we are piloting a new function on our Teams channel where you can find question and answer application. So you can see here on the picture on the screenshot where you can find it. So you just click on it on the question and answer, and you can start a discussion or ask any question. During the webinar, Maria and Ivan, who are here behalf the Capacity for Dev, they will be not answering your questions. However, they will be selecting the best questions for our question and answer session in case that you will not want to just open your mic and ask in the real time. And we will be answering your questions then at the end of the Q&A session. In case that there will not be enough time to cover your questions that were posted in the Q&A application, then we will send you all of the answers in the thank you note. So let's then begin. So we have to always start with our Capacity for Dev team. As you can see, there is a new face in our team, which is Ivan. And Ivan is currently a new Capacity for Dev community manager. So maybe, Ivan, can you tell some more information about yourself and about your role to our audience today?
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to have joined the team recently. I'll be able to help you with community engagement on your spaces, so groups, projects, and resources, and how to use the how to best use the featurings of the platform to engage the community. So, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to write on the chat, but also we have the support page going on where you can take a 30-minute call with me, Maria, or Marie to help to answer your questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. So Ivan will be the main point of contact in terms of the community, and he will be also running the future webinars for you, the onboarding ones as well as the advanced ones. And then, of course, we have Ariela. Hi, Ariela. Can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello. Yeah, not much. Just happy that the team is now complete and we are here to help you. So you will see here in the list who you will have to contact for what kind of issues, but otherwise the support mailbox is the right place to go for general questions and then we will dispatch it to the right person. Thank you very much for being here today at this advanced webinar.
Thank you very much, Ariela. And as she said, if you are writing us to support@capacity4dev.eu, then you are usually in contact with Maria, who is the user support manager. So she's also here in this advanced webinar, and she will be collecting all of your questions in the Q&A tab that I again remind you to post anything that you might be interested in. And then we have people from our editorial team, which is Claudia and Dimitri. So in case that you're interested in some collaborations, and I'm Marie, and I am the business project manager. This is just a bit from our team. Our team is actually bigger because we also use the service now from the ERAS, but we also have the IT team, which is in R5 in the European Commission. So just for the beginning, to warm up a bit the scene, we have prepared some questions for you to better understand your needs about the best practices and the structuring of your space. So I would like to ask Maria to start the poll. So the first question is, how long have you been using Capacity4dev? So this is a very important question because there might be people in this call who are more advanced users who use Capacity4dev for more than 1 year. And then there might be people who are using it just for less than, for example, 6 months. So this will give us an idea about how advanced this webinar is today, and if we need to cover some of more information regarding the different features and functions. I see that most of the people are actually really advanced and they use it for more than 1 year. So that's great to know. So we can then continue to the question number 2 of our poll. And the question is, what type of space do you manage on Capacity4dev? Is it rather the group, project, or do you have your own resource? This will also help us to then dive deeper into, for example, take more time in the groups rather than projects when it comes to the structuring of the space, or if it's a resource, which is new feature starting as of last year, then we can also dive deeper into some of the best practices there in the resource. But I see that most of the people are here for the groups, which is about the boosting the engagement. So we can then launch the next question, which is what type of content do you share on Capacity4dev space? So are you more of a person who wants to be inside the discussion, so like to foster the engagement, or you rather look at the library items or the news inside your project? So just let us know what feature is your favorite in terms of the fostering the engagement inside your space. I see that most of the people are in the library items. So it's for you as a repository of the different documents, which is really important for the documents and videos. And then the next question is, as a space manager, which features do you use more on Capacity4dev spaces? So is it that you use, like, for example, more discussions and or the share function that you are sharing on your social media, or even all of the above? And the last is, do you recall a best practice that you found or built on Capacity4dev? So here you should write, for example, one word or even propose a sentence about what best practice you found on Capacity4dev that you would like to share with your colleagues or with other people who are in this webinar. So it can be that you can post a podcast, that you can post an audio, or it can be, for example, to create something like a menu in the description. So it can really be anything. In case that you don't see the last question, there is like this arrow in the bottom of the question where you should go from number 1 to 2. So I think it's the user experience that maybe like there were 2 questions included in one. I see that library items were the best practice or table of contents. This one is really important because it's a new one, especially for library. So I will be also telling you more about this. and collaboration in voices and views. All right, this is also a really interesting one. For this one, just write us in support@capacity4dev.eu in case that you want to collaborate with our editorial team on voices and views, or editorial views, or even the podcast. Then we will distribute it to Claudia and Dimitri. So this is definitely good to know because we know what we should now cover in the advanced webinar to also tell you more about these things. So let's jump directly into the best practices of the group. So what we will be covering here, we will go directly into the practices. So I will be sharing my screen with the platform, and we will be covering the folders and subfolders in the info page. We will also dive into the parents and child pages in the library and the bulk function. Then you will also see how to do the related project articles or groups. Then also another important thing is how to link the library items from the description. We will also be sharing this presentation with you. So in case that you want to really see the best practices inside each group, then don't hesitate to use this presentation as a tool. So you can just click on the hyperlink and you will see where you can find it, but we will go through these things together. This presentation is also recorded. So in case that you don't want to be on the recording of today's presentation, just switch off your camera. In case that you have some concerns about it, just write us in the chat function concern. It's not a question, it's rather for us to be informed, so it can be in the chat. In case that you have some questions which are diving deeper into the different topics that we will be covering here in the groups, just drop a question in the question and answer tab in the Teams channel. So let me now share my screen with the platform. So here we are. This is a page that you know very well, and let me go to the best practice number 1, which is about the info page. So let me just open the link of the info page. So here we are in the environment, climate change, and green economy. We have found out that this group actually has really nicely done the table of contents that you also identified in the map cloud. And that the info pages are done here very nicely. So you can see that this is the table of contents, and we are currently in the info section, which is actually the tab where you should provide more information about your group or your project. In this case, now we are calling it info. If you are already with us for longer than 1 year, then you know that in the past it was called a wiki, and we renamed it to info because a lot of people there were misleading the word wiki. So info is much more explanatory for our users, that they find more information about that exact space here. And then you are actually the one who can structure its own information inside that exact group here on this page. So you always land on the page number 1, which is here about our group. It's really interesting because it tells more about the purpose of the group at the beginning. So you can find out what the group purpose is on Capacity4dev, etc. But you can also find more links which are leading towards the different pages on info page. So this is also another very interesting way to link the info pages. So in case that the people, for example, can, if you want to have more than one folder, then this is also a really nice practice to create something like highlights of your info page, so that when people know what is the purpose of your group, then they find out what more they can see and what is the most interesting in the table of contents. Why is that so? Why actually they didn't just put these tabs in the table of contents? It's mainly that it really depends what is your strategy here. So you can, for example, use tools and methods. So then it can be more comprehensive list of the different pages that you want to share. You can, for example, use it as an endpoint for your contacts, for your audience. So let's say that you have people in the newsletter. So like how you can see it here. And in the newsletter, you have, let's say, 200 contacts of people who are receiving your newsletter. However, you want to give them the link to some PowerPoint presentation or what was discussed in the last versions of the newsletter or any other information. So then you can always create a page here in the info, in the table of contents, and you will provide them with more detailed information about the specific topic. So you can see it as the different pages on your website. It's a really static page where people cannot really interact. So you don't see here the comments. They can like, they can share if, for example, they want to share with their network, like on LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. More information, they can do so. However, it really depends on your strategy for what purpose you want to use your table of contents. And then you can, of course, link the outside external links here also in the table of contents. So like here, they have the link to subscription to the newsletter, or the people can find more information about the latest versions of their newsletter. So it can be another way of repository of your documents and also useful information and links. So how do you create this kind of table of contents? So here, when you scroll down under the table, you have either to add a page or manage pages. So first, I will start with manage pages, and you can see here there is the structure of the different pages. So you can really navigate easily the hierarchy by drag and drop. So it's really easy, user friendly. I will not save it, of course, because it's a group of our users and I'm just using this group for the training purposes. So you can here just drag and drop different items that you need at the different stage or at the different levels. In case that you, for example, decide to view, edit, or even delete some of the pages, you choose here from the manage. So if you click on the view, it will directly get you into the view. So in case that you already forgot what page is under each name, you can just simply open it and view it. What is the page about from the manage the table of content, or you can also select to edit it. So here you can modify the name, the description, etc. And also other informations that are available for your page as such. In case that you, for example, published something and then you found typo, then you will be modifying it here by going to the manage pages and then selecting the page that you want to modify and click on edit. So this is a really easy way to then structure your table of contents and to provide the exact information that you need for your objective. Really good tip here is to define an objective of the different pages of Capacity4dev. So let's say that in the info page, the objective for you is to inform the users and your audience and your community about what is your group and provide them with the concise information that they need, or it can be the objective of a repository of the different information that you have been covering in the trainings. In case that you want to add some page, you simply click on add page, and then you will receive this kind of form where you will just include the name, the description, and all of the other mandatory fields that you need to post the content. So this is also something slightly confusing for the space managers. When you want to add a page in your info, you need to do it from the info itself. The main reason is because it's not the community function, it's a function only for the space managers. Therefore, this is why you cannot find it here in the post content, and it's available inside the info page itself. So this is how you then structure the different table of content, and it's really up to you what kind of strategy you will be deciding for this. However, when we are speaking about the folders and subfolders, there is also a new function which came with the migration itself. And in this case, it's the folders in the library tab. So when you are here in the library, you can actually put the different folders of the library items. So in case that you can see that your results are really you have a lots of items inside your library, you can then put them in one folder that can be used for the repository. So let's say that here I am interested in strategies and policy objectives. And then I can again find the different subfolders like external policies, EU policies, etc. So this is really an interesting way of providing the different items in a really concise way. So you can see here how it looks like when it's well managed. They also have from 1 to 7. This is also really good for the navigation purposes, that you don't just tell to your community, go to the library tab and you will see it in the folders. Sometimes the folders might be longer, and therefore you just tell them, for example, number 4 in the folders is the one that you should be looking for. And then you have the child pages that are also available for you, or also the subcategory subfolders. In case that you want to add a folder, so let's say that I want to continue with the number 8, I will just select add folder here, and I will provide a name, so number 8, and I can also choose the parent folder in case I want it to be the subfolder. So if I don't want it to be subfolder and I want it to be really the number 8, in the main view, I don't choose the parent folder. I just click on publish if I want it to be immediately, and I click on add folder. If I want it to be the subfolder, so for example 8.1, then I can, or in this case just for the visualization purposes, number 7, so then I will include it under the parent folder number 7 and check published and add the folder, and it will be added in the folder itself, or the subcategory here. So this is a really easy way how to establish your folders in the library items that can be really a game changer of your different PowerPoint presentations, etc. We also know that it's a new function that we introduced 1 year ago, and therefore we were also thinking about how the groups that have already more library items, because some of the groups they have, for example, even 200 of their library items in their repository. So how can we do their job more effective, so that they don't need to do one by one moving to the folders? So there is available actually a bulk function. So in this case, you can also use the bulk function, but first we will go to the manage folders. So here you can again use the drag and drop, where you can adjust the different categories and subcategories, how you need it, how you want it for your audience to appear. So you can go from the left to right. You can also go to the manage. Here you have again the same kind of drop down as it was before, and in case that you don't want to use these if you don't want to use this star, then there is also show the row weight, but I prefer to use the star view because it's just drag and drop and it's really user friendly. We have also introduced a new feature, which is actually that every kind of folder or even the child page in the info page is the yellowish. So as you can see it here, so it's really like really light yellow, but this is giving an idea to the space manager like you if this page needs to be still published or not. So we can see it here a yellowish, so therefore we should check if everything is as it's supposed to be, and we see that the published checkbox is not checked, so we just click on publish and then we save changes. So this is the easy way how to check if everything inside your folders or even the info pages is published or not. And we just deployed it actually just yesterday. So you can benefit from this new function. Then you have the function move to folder. So in this case, you have the different library items, as I was saying about the bulk items. So in this case, we can see that this group has really nicely organized the library folders, and they have really most of their results, 78 results already strategically placed in the different folders. Therefore, it gives us only one result. But if you didn't do so to put it in the different folders, you will have here big list available. So you will be able to check even 20 of them at the same time, and then just put move to folder, and it will give you the view to which folder you want to move it, and then you will just save the pages. In case that you want to edit it, you can also edit directly the exact library item. Here there is the edit button, so you don't need to look for it among the different pages, because I actually don't know on which page here at the bottom this exact library item is for me to edit it immediately. So this is also a really good shortcut if you want to check what items are not inside any folder and if you want to edit it immediately. Also, there can be the scenario vice versa. So let's say that you don't know in which page of this view is the exact library item you are looking for to add it inside a folder. But it can also be that you just scroll down and you are like, oh, actually, wait, this exact folder, I want to move it to another one because I didn't know. So then you just click on these three dots and you click on move to folder, and again it will give you the view of to which folder you want to immediately move it. So this is the best practice on the library items and how to make them in the different folders. Also, speaking about the best practices of the groups, we also saw recently that not a lot of groups are actually using the function related groups, projects, and also resources or articles. This can also give you much better visibility. So it's similar to this, so related groups, but you can also have related project articles. So what we would recommend is to really go here inside your group, or it's also available this function on the projects and resources. Click on edit your space, and when you scroll down here you have the related content. So you can, for example, search for, in this case, article items that are related to environment. So you just type environment in the search bar, and it will give you the list of everything what is on Capacity4dev. In this case, we, for example, want to write we want to find articles that are related to the environment, and let's see what kind of articles it can give us. So here there is countering environment crime. So you can see that there are like 260 views. And actually our editorial team already linked the environment and climate change. However, it was not leveraged by this group. So what we can do, we can actually add this exact article in the related articles page. So you can see it's a really like whispering option. So if you start to write, or if you just copy paste that exact type of that exact title of that article, it will give you the result, and then it will appear under the related articles on the homepage, which is again giving more credibility that actually the group is trying to stay up to date and is linking the different articles and different also articles published by our community, because you can here also find many more from even our community that you can link here, which can provide bigger traffic to your group. And then the same is the resources. So let's say that, for example, Team Europe Initiative can be related to you. And then here you have, again, drag and drop. So if you want to change the kind of hierarchy of the different groups, how they are displayed, etc., you can do it as well. Or again, there is this function available, which is with the weight rows, but I rather prefer to use the star. So this is another really good way to provide more information about your topic. So here we are talking about the sidebar, where you can navigate more towards the different articles, etc., that can be linked, and you can highlight it this way inside your group. Then we have the link library items in description. So this is another best practice where we are trying to link the library items in the description. I think that many times on Capacity4dev, the description view is underestimated. So the description doesn't necessarily mean that you just should provide one paragraph about what is your group dealing with. It can be actually the dynamic way of distributing the different important information to your audience. So in this case, they here really nicely wrote what is it about, and how the audience or their community can navigate inside each different tab. So in this case, there is, for example, if you want to navigate the materials, then you should go to the table of contents. So here they provided the table of contents page, which was actually created in the info. So this is also a really interesting way to do so, because then if you create a page on info, it serves also as something like your static page of your website. So in this case, they just created the table of contents here as a new page, and then they linked this page inside the description. So when you just click on this, link, it brings you directly to the page like this, and then you can find, for example, EU taxonomies, etc. All of the information that you need for that exact purpose. Or, for example, here there is, for example, the hub, which aims to provide support to partner countries. So they provided the three different pillars. So when you click on it, it leads you into the folder of the library items. And I think that this is a really an interesting function that I think that it should be in these best practices, because they actually also used the library folders as a repository for people to show them the different pillars. So I was talking about it last time. It really depends on your objective. Capacity4dev is a tool that will provide you this space where you can be creative and where you can reach the objective. However, how you will formulate it inside your group is really up to you. So we want to really give the different options to our users and to our community that they can facilitate the exact needs that they aim for. So, for example, if you click on pillar 2, it will open the pillar 2, etc. So it's really an interesting way of linking the library folders in the description. Then the next best practice is provide a highlight in description or the roadmap if you want. So in this case, we are again speaking about the description. And in this case, they used actually the description as a roadmap where you can, for example, just use it as a menu. So you can click exactly what you need. So, for example, number 5, that you want to go to the EU chambers and business organizations, and you can get the different contacts immediately, or EU business forums, etc. So it's really up to you what you will put in your description, what is your objective, what is the most interesting thing of your audience. So never think about your own perspective. I know that it's quite tempting. What I find useful, of course, I find useful all of my group. However, what is the most useful thing for your audience, for the user being behind the screen when they approach your group, what they want to see in the description? In this case of this group, I'm speaking mainly about this roadmap. I would definitely put some more text here about what is the group about, rather than only put some of the areas we cover here, because I don't know really the aim. And there are also some more information in the info. However, it's in this case, I would not consider it as the best practice, because it doesn't really tell me about the group anything what I am actually here. I am the member of the community here. So definitely I would strengthen in this group more of the identity. So to tell to the users what is the aim, what is the objective of this group, and so that people can then navigate the different menus much more efficiently. So this was just in a nutshell regarding the group, which are the best practices. Also here, for example, I like to use it especially in the help and support guidance. I don't know if you know about the Anchor. I was already speaking about it in some of our earlier advanced webinar. I think last year there are also some of the tutorials on how to do Anchor. So it's also my favorite best practice in the group, that you have inner links, so that you have something like this, like a menu, so that people don't need to read through the whole page, but they can just click and they are at the exact sector as they supposed to be. So in case that you are interested in how to do the anchors in your group, then you can watch the tutorial on our members channel. So just type in the YouTube Capacity4dev members channel, and you can then find it, for example, in the playlist. So here in the playlist is Capacity4dev tutorials, and here you can find all of the tutorials that might be relevant for your exact issue. And among them here is also the Anchor, how to create an Anchor of your group. So you can check it out. In case that you have some questions, you can definitely relate there for the navigation of the space, and for the also for the different functions, how to make them inside your group. Before we will jump into the best practices in projects, I would like to just see some interaction from your side. So we have prepared just 2 questions in this case for you. So if we can launch a question number 1 for you, just to see that you are still focused, and that you are still there behind the screen, so that we have some feedback. So what capacity for the features do you think are underused? So this question is mainly about that you would like to raise more engagement inside that exact function. So we have the discussions where the people are interacting together. We have the library items so that you think that people don't really use, I don't know, the audio, so that they don't really post the podcasts or they don't really post the different PowerPoint presentations, or it's the events. So do you think that people don't really use that much the events for their groups and for their spaces? Or is it the articles that you think that we should have more articles published by the capacity for dev? So I see that it's in this case almost 50-50 in the discussions and the articles. So this is really interesting. I would be interested in what are the reasons that the articles, why you think that the articles are underused. So in case that you would like to elaborate, somebody from the audience who chose that the articles are underused, can you just open your microphone? So anybody who chose the articles as underused features on Capacity for Dev, can somebody tell us more about what you mean that they are underused on Capacity for Dev and how you think that we can make it better? And in the meantime, we can run the second question. So if not, if nobody wants to elaborate, then I will also look into the question and answer session. So anybody who would like to elaborate on it there, it's still open. Or also in the chat, you can just tell us more about your choice, why you think that the articles are underused. Then the next one is, are you interested in collaborating on Capacity for Dev podcast or article? So this is definitely linked to our editorial team. So would you be interested in collaborating with our editorial team on the article about your group or project, or even the podcast? So some podcast recording about the lessons learned and the knowledge that you would like to share, or simply no, you might also not be interested at all in these kind of collaborations. So I see that it's really 50-50. Some of the people chose that they would like to collaborate on the podcast. Some people chose that they would like to do some articles together with our editorial team. Some people chose no. So this is also definitely an option that is available here. So we will then also give these results to our editorial team, so they can benefit from your responses, and they might then contact you regarding the collaboration. So in case that you are interested in collaborating, this is definitely the time to make your choice in this option. So now we can then move to the projects, because I think that there are some people who are also project managers. So what are the best practices in the project? So we will be covering, for example, how to embed video in description, because this is definitely one of the best practices I enjoyed the most. Then you have the dedicated information page. We already a bit touch upon this subject in the group, but we will cover it again for the project. Then there is the big difference between the projects and the groups, and it's the customizable tabs. So actually in the projects, you can really play around with your navigation tab, and you can even link to the different external pages so that people can submit or subscribe to your newsletter right away. Then you can also share the news about your project. This also serves as your project articles. So this might be also something related to what you chose, as that they are like not really used articles on Capacity for Dev. You can actually use your project and publish your own articles in the news tab. So we will show you more about how to do this. So then you can, for example, share it on your social media, or you can link it to your newsletter or whatever you would need. Again, it's to define your objective. It's about defining your goal with the different communication channels that you have available for your EU-funded project. So again, we are speaking about the best practices here, but it doesn't mean that after this webinar, you should go and put the video in your descriptions, put, for example, immediately all of the things that we have been covering here. It's about defining the objective and the goals for your specific space, taking into consideration all of the communication channels that you have, such as social media or your own website, and include Capacity4dev as a tool inside something we can call it as a marketing funnel. So you can even have one project and one group on Capacity4dev. It's just about defining from the marketing perspective how you then want to link it together alongside of your other tools that are available for you. We will also be covering banner and thumbnail size because it's really important that you have really the size that you need for the banner and for the thumbnail. We will also cover just the basic, what is the difference, because we could see that some of the banners and thumbnails are sometimes not really right size, and we have introduced a new function, which is actually you need to really have the right pixels for the banner or it will do some kind of unsimilarities between the different spaces. So I will also show you, in this case, rather not good practice, so that you can see how it is if you don't follow the pixels that should be there. Then we will also tell you about the table in the description, because this is also something that I really like and that we saw recently, and possibly also even the mosaic menu in the description if you would like to be more creative with your space. So let's then jump directly into our website to show you more about these best practices right away in practice. So first we will be speaking about embed video on Capacity4dev. So let me share my screen, and I have already opened the page where we have the embed video on yeah. Now I have the banner of the teams, so I cannot really move where I would like to. So let me just find the way. How can I? Now it's changed. So here it's in EU DIR program. So again, you will have available the hyperlinks in case that you want to go back in retrospective and see what are the different media available here. However, I think that in this case, currently I have probably a wrong one. So let me just try to find it again. I think that it was maybe this one instead, that I put the wrong link, which I didn't want it. So here we have the pictures, and yes, so here we are. So I will then also change the link for you, but this is what I am speaking about. So here we have the description of our project, which is Desira. We can already also cover the banner and the thumbnail. So this is what it does if you don't have the right pixels of your banner and of your thumbnail. So it provides these black spaces. So definitely go to your group or your space and check if by any chance it doesn't do this kind of thing. We could also see it here when we were looking for it, that the thumbnail is slightly squeezed. For the thumbnail, it's very easy because it's the square pixels. So in this case, it's always, for example, 22 times 22, because all of the sides are the same. So it's easy. However, for the banner, it's slightly trickier. So when you go to the edit project in this case, and you scroll down here you have to select your banner and your thumbnail. If you want to check what kind of pixels are available for you and in what kind of parameters you should actually select it, you just simply remove it. And now you have here available the pixels that you need to choose. I'm again using this project for the training purposes. I will not be changing or saving this change that I just did. Also, if you will, for example, just want to see the pixels that you are handling it over to your design manager or somebody who will make you the design, then you just give them these pixels and then you don't save this page so that it's at least there is some banner available. And anyway, it will not save if you don't have all of the mandatory fields available. However, now speaking about the video that I wanted to show you, it's here at the bottom, which I really like. I think that it's a really interactive way of showing to your users and your community more information in a more interactive way. So in this case, it can also be more in the top. And how to do this? It's a very easy. You again click on Edit Project, and here, if you scroll down, you just see it's simply inserting the media. So how you can do this is by going on Insert Media here, and you can click here on Remote Video, and you just add, for example, the URL link of the video from the YouTube channel. You just click on Add and save and insert, and you have video in your description. So it's really easy and interactive way how to entertain your users here. I also really like how they have the index. So they really use the main page of the description of here that they are using the anchors. So how you can navigate the different sections. So again, the anchors are a really powerful way of providing the menus. It's this function, which is the flag here, the anchor. Also, we have it written step by step if you go to the help and support. So here, if you go to the help and support, which by the way, we have a new button here, but I'm still used to go to the button. But here at the top, we have finally available the help and support. I just realized it now because we had released yesterday. So you can just go to help and support here next to post content. And here in type a keyword, you can just write the anchor, how to do this dynamic menu. And you select the add an anchor. This is a bug. We are working on it, and the pictures will be available here during the summer. However, here you have the step-by-step on how to do the anchors. So you can see, place your cursor at the desired location, select the flag, etc. And the help and support works with all of the different kind of functions and the features. So you just write what you need, and then you will get that exact result or the output. So this is how you can do the anchors, the videos, but also the banner and the thumbnail. You could also see here in the Desira that they had the customized tabs, which you could just customize it yourself if you are the space manager. So in case that you want to, for example, put some fancy names here in this navigation bar, you just click on manage the project. And here you have the option. This is only for the project. I repeat it. It's not for the groups. And you click on manage the tabs. How does it work is that you have the general tabs menu. So you just simply click on the title of the general tabs menu, and it will open you the different links and the different names. You can see that the overview, you cannot disable it or you cannot do anything with it because it's really the layout. It's the only thing that we require for the project. However, you can even then deselect all of it. You can edit it. You can even provide the external pages. So you can, for example, put here a link to your newsletter so that people click on it like on a button, and they will be redirected to, for example, to different external pages if you want to. In this case, we have it internal. And here again, you can see the new feature that we have introduced. So you can see what kind of pages are not published for the public. So you can see it by having it yellow like this. So this was about the customized tabs and also about the different best practices for a group. For a project. The last thing that I would like to show you is this interesting thing that we saw recently, and it's to put a table inside description. This is quite a workaround if you don't like the show more. So you can see that it doesn't really work because the person used one simple function, which is a table. They created a table which is one column, and therefore it created this kind of feature. So you can simply just create a table here. You just defined, for example, how many rows, how many columns you have, and then the description is taking it as a one function. Therefore, the show more is disabled. So this is really interesting workaround for how to go around with the table in description. And the last, but really also popular in this case, is the mosaic menu. So you can see here, for example, it's not well developed yet, but we are working on it with the space manager, and you can put the different columns and the rows, and then put, for example, the picture inside each column and inside each row. And when you click on it, you will be redirected to that exact place where you need to. So you can create a really nice mosaic menu if you wish to do so. So just to briefly cover some of the latest development, and then I promise there will be some time for you for some questions and answers. But here we have some new fixes and enhancement. For the resources, we have introduced a function between the EU and non-EU resource. So we have the EU resources are, for example, Team Europe Initiative results and indicators, and you can find it in the results tab. For the community resources, we are calling it non-EU. So currently you can find this differentiation. We also have the formatting collapsed in the description. So this is currently in the pipeline. So if you open a description in if you don't click on show more, it's usually shrinked. So we are also working on it to make it nice and beautiful even when you don't need to click on the show more. We will also be displaying starting and ending year in the events. So sometimes it was not possible if the event was taking, for example, 1 month, but it was from the mid-December until mid-January. So there was not really, there was some misleading information about the starting year and ending year. And also we have in pipeline that there will be a limitation for the events, that events should not take longer than 6 months. This is mainly because we saw that on the platform there are some events that takes 10 years. However, then it is not really sustainable. So we will do this kind of limitation in the future. You can also use the search operators if you want more advanced search. So if you want to search for the environment and the policy, for example, so policy and environment, then you can use the search operators inside the search bar of Capacity4dev. And also some good news for those that are interested in the statistics. It's possible to export it in Excel. So currently, when you go to your space and you go to the member stats or content stats, you are able to export it in Excel instead of the CSV file. So this is really immense development that we have done because we had a lots of complaints from our community about it. Then seeing the draft page of info, we already covered it. This was about the yellowish bar of the different spaces. Then content stats sidebar filter is available towards the different periods. So you can filter the content that was published inside your space within, for example, 7 days, 1 month, etc. So you can just extract the information that you are interested in for your reporting purposes. And we will also work on a bit of enhancement with the embed media button. So there will be only one available. Currently there are two. So in the future there will be only one. And you will also be able to crop, and all of the functions inside it will be working properly. So this is just to give you a brief fixes and enhancements about our platform, but we are planning to do these updates and enhancements inside the Space Managers group. So soon you will also have it inside the Space Managers group. I would just like to use also this opportunity, in case that you are not inside the Space Managers group on Capacity4dev, just write us the word space in the chat so that we can add you to that space immediately after the webinar. So I will just end it here, but we can stay a bit longer. I know that I went a bit over time, but it was a lot of information around. I just posted also the link to the space, to the Space Managers group. So you can just click on it and you will see immediately if you are part of it. If not, you just write the space in the chat and we will add you in that space right away after the webinar. Maria, tell me, are there any questions that we should be covering?
Eleni asked the question. I don't know if it's yet responded to, but Eleni is asking, can you walk us through how to create a table of contents as an administrator through Manage?
I think that we already covered it, so it will be available in the recording that we will be sending. So you can just, we will also be introducing there the chapters. So we will put the chapters and you will be able to just jump into how to create the table of content as administrator through the button manage. So we will be sending after this webinar the thank you note, so you will have the recording and then you can go through, because I think that then other people can have we already covered it. So
That's it from the chat.
All right. So I think that we can end here because we are 3 minutes over time. But in case that you have any question, then you can reach out to the support at capacity4dev.eu and we can answer all of your questions that you might have. And we will also be then reflecting on your answers from the polls. And I will be really excited about seeing what new things in stake Ivan will have for us as a new community manager of Capacity4dev. So there will be a lot of new things upcoming this year and onwards. So I would like to close our advanced webinar here. I hope that it was fruitful for you, that you learned some more information about how to structure your space, and you will receive all of the hyperlinks and necessary information after this webinar. So if I can just ask you the last thing, if you can rate this webinar from 1 to 5. 1 is not useful, 5 is very useful, so that you can give us your output, your input towards what did you like, or if you liked it, so we can reflect on it and how we can improve it in the future. So thank you so much. And I wish you have a nice rest of the day. And I will be looking forward to be in touch with you online, either via email or in another webinar.